my goodness. Looks like all our tech is good. Let me find us on Facebook real quick, just to make sure. Yes. Great. We are live. This is Ryan Lanier. I'm with Organizing for Good. And it is one of my favorite parts of the week is when I get to reach out to an area nonprofit and bring you just a lot of the goodness that is going on with people working to lift up marginalized people in our world, because they're a thing. So I'm really, really excited to be talking with Lane Strickland today, Director of Development for Out Youth. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me this morning. I'm excited to be here.
It's fantastic. Why don't you just jump right in, introduce yourself and all about Out Youth. We can't wait to hear.
Absolutely. Okay, so again, my name is Lane. I'm Director of Development for Out Youth, and I use she, her pronouns. And Out Youth is an amazing organization here in Central Texas. We've been around for 31 years. A lot of people actually don't know that about us. And we actually have a really neat founding story. So we were started by two UT grad school students who were doing a project on the LGBTQIA community and really realized that there's no resources for queer youth in Central Texas. This was back in 1990 was when we were founded. So we started off in living rooms across Central Texas. And the way that we got our word out about Out Youth was not only word of mouth, but we would put pamphlets and flyers about where we were meeting and when in library books. So in queer books or encyclopedias under the word bisexual or lesbian. And that is how Out Youth began, because due to stigma, we couldn't just put up big posters, and we were kind of afraid that, the haters of the world might show up to our meeting spots. And then also these were at people's houses. So we didn't want to really make that out open into the community. So yeah, that's really how we got started here in Central Texas, was word of mouth and flyers and library books. And what's really neat about that today is at our Out Youth house. So we actually own a house. It's a below that so many refer to as a second home. And we actually, in our house, we have the second largest private LGBTQIA+ library in Central Texas. So we have hundreds and thousands of books in our Cyber Center library that we call it, where the kids can come in and pick up a book, and every single book is either by a queer author or there's LGBTQIA+ character in the book. So we're really excited about that.
Wow. And what else do you do to serve these youth?
Oh my gosh, we do so much. So let me give a high level overview of what we do. So I kind of like to say we do three main things to keep our LGBTQIA+ community physically safe and also mentally safe. So the first thing that we do, this is really where the heart and soul, the magic of Out Youth happens, is we have a community center. This is at our second home. We're still fully virtual right now. All of our programs are still online and being virtual, but when the house is open, we have 50 youth there at the community center, and it's just magical. They can come in. There's always a family meal and snacks galore. You open up the fridge and the freezer, and it just kills my diet because it's bagel bites and everything, Welch's fruit snack, everything that kids want. We have, and we have some healthy options too. And we always have usually volunteers come in to bring family meals. So we'll eat together a lot of times as a family. And then the kids are just kids for the 4.5 hours we're open. We have an art wall where it's literally an entire wall with just every single arts and craft supplies you can think of. We've got an art wall where kids are in the library, they're in the cyber center playing video games, doing homework, doing research projects, doing what kids do. They are outside, they're playing basketball, there's chalk, there's hula hoops. They're just being kids. And that's where the magic of it happens. Mm-hmm. And then we always have an hour programming that happens at the drop-in. And that's really wonderful because that's led by the youth. And it's always what the youth want to talk about. It's never going to be led by an adult. We want the youth to have that hour of programming and talk about what's going on in their lives, what's happening. And that's for 12 to 18-year-olds. And during the pandemic, we actually opened it up a separate like drop-in kind of program for 9 to 11-year-olds, which has been amazing. So
Wow.
that community center is wonderful. That's really where kids can come together and just be kids. And then our largest program, though, is going to be our mental health program. So we offer free to low cost. And when I say low cost, no more than $10, individual therapy services for queer youth.
Wow.
So that's kind of like the big second thing, the big second program that we do.
Yeah.
And then our third biggest program that we're going to be doing is we're in the school systems. So we want to make sure that our schools are safe and that our teachers kind of like understand like how to make these safe places for our youth, because youth are in the school for, gosh, I should really calculate how many hours they are like in school compared to like at home. So we have the Texas GSA, which is basically like an after school club that we help run all over the state of Texas, that youth can come together with a teacher or a counselor that helps run it. And they help create this, and we give them all the resources, and they make sure the school's place, and kind of also gives them that professional development experience that they're looking for it to be a part of a club or lead a club. And then we also have group therapy called BU, which is in the ISD school system. We partner with communities in school and ISD for that. So we actually are in the school systems providing therapy as well. And then also too, we just launched, and this is a professional development series for all K through school personnel, where they can, it's $30 for 6 tiers. And they can come in, each tier is going to teach about queer history, what to do, what does LGBTQIA+ mean? What does being bisexual and pansexual mean? Sorry, I think I lost some internet there.
You're fine.
Okay. And then kind of what do you do when a youth comes out to you? What are the right things to say? What are the right resources to give them? And also, what do you do when you see like a kid being bullied? So those are like the big 3 main things that we do. And then sometimes people don't know this because our name is Out Youth, but we actually work with adults. So we have transgender wellness. We partner with the Kind Clinic for this. And this is for trans and non-binary adults, 18 plus. And what that is it's basically just 2 group sessions that meet weekly. And it just creates a safe place for, again, group. So that's a very high level overview of a lot of the work that we do here in Central Texas.
Wow, you guys are busy. You are, wow. I mean, the age range, the services range, and clearly all of it very intentional to your mission of creating places for people to gather where they don't feel unsafe.
Exactly. And you know, the need is still really out there, Ryan. Unfortunately, right now we have a wait list of 34 youth wanting to access their mental health care services. And that's growing at an average of 9 youth a month. So the need for not only mental health care, but the need is really in our community for affordable mental health care, as well as healthcare, mental health care that specializes in the LGBTQIA+ community.
Wow. Wow. So you already referenced a little bit about a lot of your things being on virtual now, but let's just dive into last March when COVID happened. What things did you change for better and for worse? And what things did you learn and you're continuing?
Absolutely. Great question. So I like to put this in like quotes, like good to come out of the pandemic for Out Youth. You know, there was a lot. Fundraising was actually, like, you know, very hard, as well as, you know, having to put a pause on all of our events. It was also just so hard on our youth not to be able to come to the house, and just being virtual with school, and then having to log on to being virtual for our community center. We call it, the community center is a community center, but it's also like drop-in that we call it when the youth come. But the good to come was we were actually able to serve more youth virtually than we ever thought was possible. So I say Central Texas because I'm so used to saying Central Texas, but all of our therapists are licensed in the state of Texas. So we now have kids on our wait list that are in more rural areas than we ever thought we could like access before. Because
sure.
we always wanted to do telehealth. That was always part of our plan, not necessarily in our budget. And we only have 13 full-time staff members. So we are a small family that wears a lot of hats. But so the pandemic started and we just happened to be on spring break because we follow the Austin AISD school schedule. So we had that entire week to move to virtual and we were able to do it. I'm so proud of our staff, like so resilient and amazing, like taking their spring break time to do this.
Wow.
And we switched over virtually. So now that we can offer telehealth for mental health care all over the state of Texas, which is amazing. And then drop in and like has been great too. So my boss doesn't like me to tell this story because we've had kids find our drop in virtually overseas. So we're not doing it anymore because we realized it wasn't like, we thought the pandemic was only gonna be 2 weeks. So we were like reading at nighttime to the kids and we were having youth come in overseas and my boss doesn't like the story because it was like 2, 3 a.m. overseas. And my boss was like, these kids should have been in bed. But they were tuning in to our like read time. And it was so cool because also when they were doing the virtual drop-in with our youth, they were like getting their WhatsApp numbers and phone numbers. And now our youth have contact like overseas, which is great. We had a couple kids outside of the state of Texas to join us, which was me. And then it's just been great, like virtually too. So we were able to move from being in 11 schools to 30 schools in the 2019-2020 school year. Because we weren't driving to different schools. That took up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So again, something that was really strong to happen for us. And then another thing we started was we actually started a brand new program. So a lot of our clients were experiencing food insecurities at home because they weren't at the house. They couldn't get their family meals. When there's snacks at the house, they were taking everything home. And a lot of parents, unfortunately, were losing their jobs and just our kids were kind of food insecure. They were hungry at home. So the house was open. I mean, the house was closed. We were like, what are we going to do with this? So we developed the queer and trans community closet. We opened this up for the LGBTQIA+ community of all ages. You can go online to apply. You can learn more at outyouth.org. But what we do is we offer free grocery store gift cards, free fresh vegetables and food and products, pantry items, snacks, as well as free hygiene supplies. And not so much anymore, but this was back during the, we were all stuck at home, but art supplies and makeup kits, like for the kids while they're at home. So to date, in just 1 year, actually, we've handed out $10,000 worth of grocery store gift cards and 268 bags full of fresh groceries, pantry items, and hygiene kits, which is, I'm so proud of our staff for 13 full-time staff members to do that. Like I just love like our Out Youth family and our staff members. So that's been something great that we've been offering the community. And we kind of picked up the restaurant model for that, like the to-go curbside model. And we only thought we were going to be doing that for the pandemic, Ryan, but it's been such a success. And we've had such great feedback and such great community feedback that we're probably going to keep it forever.
See,
I know.
like you said, the good things. Wow. Woo.
So
you guys just see it and you just meet it. Like you see it, you figure it out and you meet it. It's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Wow.
So,
you are a font of information and love and energy. I love it so much.
You. We've got, I get it from my staff and clients. Like once we started opening back up, Ryan, it was so neat because I table at a lot of events, especially for Pride. So it was amazing to see like how many clients would come up to me like while tabling, and they were adults now because we've been around for 31 years, and they were like, I went to Out Youth as a kid. How are y'all doing? They would name some of the staff that's still there. They would be like, is so-and-so still there? And so-and-so. I was like, yeah.
Wow.
I just feeds my energy and passion for what I love, like our mission and the work that we do to keep our LGBTQIA+ community, young adults, youth, and also now adults, mentally and physically safe.
Well, and it's an empowering, like it's the front line and then you empower and then they move, like sort of the pay it forward cycles, like
Exactly.
layers moving out. The
Yeah,
ripple
and as
effect.
director of development, I work much more with like the community members, people like yourself and donors. So when clients come up to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so special and empowering.
So great. Well, speaking of the community, none of this could happen without support. So here is where we want to hear literally everything that people can do to support you. So don't hold back, including
Awesome.
what we talked about
So
before.
I would say it starts right here, right now with like people like you, Ryan. Like we're a small organization, but here I go. I get like, but we're mighty.
Yes.
So, like we don't have like a marketing budget. So word of mouth, please, please, please tell someone maybe something that you learned today about Out Youth. Because not only will that maybe help like financially with donations, it might help a possible client. It might help a family who a youth is coming out or a youth is questioning. So please, word of mouth, tell everybody about Out Youth. Follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram. It's really easy at Out Youth. And then join our mailing list. Figure out what's going on. I'm a development team of one, so I promise you, you're not going to get spam because I don't have time to email, spam, or market you. Hopefully, as I start to build, I'll maybe do like bi-monthly or quarterly newsletters where you can hear from a volunteer, hear about a new program, hear like a possible client story, and kind of feel a little bit more connected. So you can sign up for our mailing list. Again, go to outyouth.org. And then scroll down to the very bottom and you put in your name and email, and that will get you on our email mailing list. But outside of word of mouth, monetary donations are wonderful. That's the quickest way to support nonprofits because the pandemic is a great example. If we don't have funds and, corporate sponsors and donors, we would not have been able to turn that quickly to telehealth services and virtual services like that within a week. It costs a lot of money to run a nonprofit. And just when emergencies happen, like the AC goes out, or not only does monetary help fund like all of our programs and services, but again, if the AC goes out, another pandemic hits. I don't want to say that. Sorry, I just said that. Oh my God, take that back. I take that back. Let me get another example.
Let's just do this.
Yeah, so another example.
Right. When stuff hits the fan.
Exactly. Thank you. When stuff hits the fan, we have to be ready because we don't want to be able to stop our services because they're so, so vital and life-saving for our community. So monetary donations are wonderful. And if you can't do monetary donations, when we do open back up and the world is a little bit more normal, we're always looking for volunteers to help with family meals, to help like outside with our house. It always needs a lot of love with planting flowers and gardens. Again, we're a small team. So if someone has professional development volunteer work they could help us with, such as like marketing or helping with graphic design work, always looking for that. People to help us translate things into other languages for flyers, always looking for that. And then we do accept in-kind donations for the queer and trans community closet. We are looking for only new and unused items, and we do have a very specific list for what we're looking for what we offer. And again, you can find that online under outyouth.org, and then go under programs for all, and you'll see the Q&T, the queer and trans community closet there, the list of items we're accepting and how you can drop them off on our patio safely.
Wonderful. There was a question on Facebook. Can you talk about the Be a Beacon program?
Absolutely. So the Be a Beacon is new and it's so exciting. So what we realized was a lot of our clients, most of our ideas, they all come from our clients. It's like the feedback that we get from staff. So a lot of our clients were like expressing how they were coming out to school counselors or school teachers, and that they didn't really feel respected when they came out, or they kind of felt like maybe it wasn't a safe place to come out, or they kind of felt like the teacher was like, oh, well, I support you, but like couldn't really have a lot to say. And these teachers we were recognizing too this is some, not all, just some. They would have like the safe place stickers or like the pride stickers or pride flags. So we were like, how can we make these more safe? So again, you can find more information online under our website via Beacon, but it's a 6-part development series. It's $30 per series. We're working with some schools to try to like pay for a lot of people, and then also some individuals can go on, but it's all school personnel from school volunteers to people at the bus stop, to people to teachers, to student aides. Anyone in the school system can take this. We're offering it in English, Spanish. And again, it just is a background. It's almost like an LGBTQIA plus 101. And then also resources that you can be able to be a safe person if you do hear bullying, or if a youth does come out to you and maybe wants to harm themselves. What to do when you hear bullying, like in the classroom. And then also it kind of teaches, this is one of my favorite parts, it kind of teaches how to incorporate like the queer community into school everyday life. So how do you put, if you're a math teacher, put, Sarah was in love with Emily and it took 13 miles to drive to their house in 25 minutes. That's a terrible example, but how do you like make it more generalized to talk about it? What are pronouns? What are the importance of pronouns? Why should you respect pronouns in the school system? Resources on, how to make bathrooms safe, just everyday things, the 6-part development series. And we've gotten wonderful feedback from it. Again, you don't have to be in the Texas school system. You can do this individually for yourself, or you can also work with your school to maybe like get this for like a group. I think we have better prices. I'm not quite sure, but better prices for if you do like kind of like a bulk type of thing.
Wow.
Oh, and then at the end, you receive the Safe Place sticker. So at the end, once you completed the 6-part professional development series, you're gonna get a Safe Place mug that has like the Out Youth logo, and then Safe Place in the pride flag. And then you're gonna get a sticker, like you can put on your window that says Safe Place. And then you're also gonna get like a flag that you could like put on your desk. So you kind of like earn your Safe Place sticker.
Of course. Wow. Again, seeing the need and meeting it. Wow, there's a lot. You guys are really walking the walk. I'm really impressed. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, we got to start with, where our kids are the most, and that's at school. So, and then after school, they can come to us.
Absolutely. Wow. There's so much. So let's see, what else? You said you had to cancel your events, or when are those coming back, or are they coming back in a different form?
Sure. So fingers crossed, our Glitz Gala is going to be happening November 13th. So I will be looking for volunteers for that. I'm not sure what type of capacity need, but I'll definitely need some volunteers to help with like set up and take down and registration. So if you're interested in that, Ryan, I'm going to give you have my email, and I'm happy if you want to give that out after, but I'm happy to provide my email here. It's Lane, LANE.strickland@outyouth.org. Again, that's lane.strickland@outyouth.org. If you have any questions after watching this about how to get involved or volunteering, please reach out to me, especially if you have a question right now that you might be shy to ask. Please feel free to reach out to me after and ask those questions. So that's coming up. And then our more affordable event, fingers crossed, will be coming up in the spring of 2022. And this is called Second Chance Prom. It's a $50 ticket, and it's literally a second chance prom, but for adults. And it is solely to fund the youth prom that we put on. So we've done the youth prom every single year except for COVID. So this should be our 31st year of youth prom, but now we're only at 29 years. I believe I did the math right. So it's great. We literally partner with a church downtown, and we put on a prom for youth. And it started so small, and now we have about 450 youth come, and it's literally a prom. Like, we've got a DJ, we've got pizza, we take over the dance floor, we have decorations, we have a photo booth. And it's just so magical because the youth get so into it. They have dates, they do like the corsages things and flowers, and they just have a safe place where they can just dance with who they want to dance with and not feel judged and just feel more accepted. So that event is again a great event that we put on that solely funds the youth prom. So buying a ticket to the second chance prom, it's $50, and that provides 2 tickets for you to go to the prom for free.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Just before we even got on here, you were like, how much time we have? Because
I told you mine, I could talk all day.
Love it so much. Well, let's wrap up. And I do wonder if if the waterworks happen, just something that helps us know the impact that you are making on individuals.
Oh, here we go.
I know. I'm sorry. I know.
It's okay. I also forgot to mention, if you want to like see the house and see like a high level overview of what we do, we have our mission video, and you can see some of our units too.
Thank
that
you
is
for saying
on the
that.
front page of our website, y'all, or you can find it on our YouTube channel. But just go to the front page of our website and scroll down, and you'll see like the mission video. That's a great way, and you'll see the waterworks and me in that mission video too. But one of the stories that hits home to me is we had a client one time. The client was speaking with Ren. Ren is our director of programs and operations, and Ren runs the drop-in and community center. And I forget the full story, but Ren was talking, and the youth was like, "You're not talking about youth correctly." And she was like, "Well, what do you mean?" Ren was like, "What do you mean?" And the youth was like, this is kind of where we got the story of we are a family. And the youth said, we're more of a family. Like, we're not someone in scary coats, white scary coats. And what they meant by that was when their parent was taking them to out youth, the parent probably didn't explain it the best, but the youth was so scared. The youth thought they were going to go to a hospital and go to conversion therapy, and thought it was going to be a bunch, like a sterile building with a bunch of people in white coats telling them like maybe it wasn't okay to be gay. They didn't really know what happened. And that youth said when the mom dropped him off at the house, like our house it's literally a house, and it's just so warming, and it's just filled with all sorts of artwork from the amazing youth and quotes. And they said, I walked into the house and it wasn't scary. There was no one in white coats. You asked me what my names and pronouns were, and you went with that. And then a youth came up to me and found me and introduced me to everybody else. And that just means the world to me that like we can provide this second home for so many children and have them find a family and this community that is like-minded like them, that they might not have at school or in their sports or at church. So that's just a story that kind of like, to me, is so important about like our Out Youth family that I feel really represents who we are and our mission. So, woo.
Thank you. I know that was only hard because you just feel it so beautifully and deeply. And I love that story. That is really,
and the sad
really
one is, like every time I tell this story, it happens. I'm just like, oh my gosh, here they come.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So I'm so excited and proud to work for Out Youth. Like I truly, truly believe in our mission and what we do. And I'm so excited to see what we can do for the next 31 years.
That is so obvious. Like you couldn't have said more that you were so happy and you're so motivated to keep going, and it's so apparent.
Yeah,
it's so
we still
apparent.
have lots and lots of work to do. I won't get into that part, but we have lots of work to do, and we're here for it. And hopefully we'll have, my goal is to have blue bungalows all over Central Texas, north, south, east, west. So youth and young adults can have access to another blue bungalow.
You haven't used that term yet, blue bungalow.
Oh, I haven't. I'm sorry. Blue bungalow is what I refer to our Out Youth house. It's a blue house in Hyde Park, north of Hyde Park, off of Airport Boulevard. And it's a great, wonderful community and neighborhood that we live in. It's literally a neighborhood, and it's a blue house. You can't miss it. And we have our neighborhood that we live in. Our community members are so wonderful. They are used to, they know when drop-in's happening because there's kids running all around the house. And then also they like just drop off like goodies and flowers and tips, treats, and all sorts of fun things like for our youth that say that they're supportive and that they love us being in the neighborhood. So we call it a blue bungalow. Yeah.
I love that. So I don't know if this is a connection I'm making in my head, but Frida Kahlo, the Mexican artist, had such a rough life. You know, she wasn't out as during her time, right? But clearly bisexual, and her house is the Casa Azul. People visit in Mexico City. So
I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to share that with our staff. They're gonna love that.
I think that, we're just gonna say that's awesome.
I love that.
That's a universal connection there, I think.
You learn something new every day. Very neat.
Yep, for sure. So, oh my gosh, I have enjoyed our talk so
yes, thank
much.
you, Ryan. Thank you so much for having me. It's truly like people like you and your organization and everyone following and listening. Like, thank you. Like, this is just a great opportunity for me to sit at home and talk about Out Youth and help us spread our mission so we can help save more lives.
That is exactly what this is for. So thank you for all that you shared today. And I want to thank everybody that has watched or shared or done anything that you've learned today, that you go and you support Out Youth by liking and following all the things she said. Watch that video and share it if it so speaks to your heart. I have a feeling that hankies will be necessary for that one too. So thanks for that already. But really just hearing about what you're doing just blows me away. And right now is when we need to share. We need to share it.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so thank you so much for your time today. The nonprofit shout out interview shows up on my YouTube channel. So if you have some extra time and you're over there, you can watch lots of these interviews and find out some more beautiful heart work that's going on out there. And I've done it again. I have not written down who I'm interviewing next week. One of these days, I'm going to remember to write that down. And if I stall long enough, Karen will put it in the messenger and I might see it before we cut off here. She's really good with this, but
Karen, go.
She can only type so fast and put up with me and my lack of details. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I will be here next week. We only don't do these on the first Monday of the month. Oh, we are seeking to visit with somebody next week. We don't actually have one on the calendar, but we're going to make it happen. I know we are. We may circle back with some favorites.
I can help Ryan too with that. We've got some great, wonderful community partners that we work with that I'd love to give this opportunity for them to speak to.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't already ask you that. That is huge because you guys are in touch with people we don't know about. So yay, Karen, did you hear that? We're going to get some more connections. So anyway, so thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody that watched. Like and share, and get yourself involved. Find yourself visiting that blue bungalow with gifts and love, because that's how they keep it going.
And feel free to email me if you still have questions or any ideas or anything you'd like to share with me. Please feel free to email me.
Awesome. All that information, all those links are there in the comments on Facebook. So lots of resources there. So thanks, everybody. We will see you next week.